Hello everybody and welcome to Urban Platter's Simply Good cooking class. Today we're making one of India's most classic, most famous dishes, Gulab Jamun, but with a urban platter twist. You know what that means. This Gulab Jamun is going to be perfectly plant-based. We're going to be using some panko crumbs, we're going to be using almond flour, we're going to be using our delicious oat wow to make these Gulab Jamun. So let's get right into it. So the first step into making the Gulab Jamun is to making the actual jamun themselves. To make that jamun base, we're going to add some maida or just regular all-purpose flour, some panko crumbs that I have turned into a fine powder. I'm doing this because panko crumbs themselves are really big in their grain size, so this will help the jamun to bind better. So I'm just going to add these panko crumbs right in here. So the next ingredient that goes into this bowl is going to be our California fine almond flour. As you can see, it's beautifully fine and it's going to help the entire jamun bind really well, but also give it a nice nutty flavor. In it goes some of our caster sugar. The next ingredient that we're going to add is going to be potato starch. So what this starch is going to do in the jamun is I'm going to bind everything really well together and make sure that it doesn't disintegrate as we fry it. So now I'm going to just give our dry ingredients a quick mix. Make sure there's no lumps or anything in here. So now it's a crucial time where we start bringing our jamun together. What we're going to use for that is some oat milk. And we're just going to add 1 teaspoon at a time, just so that we don't accidentally add a lot of it and we don't want the mixture to be too runny. So I'm just going to mix this around a little bit, turn it into a soft little dough, add a little bit more. And now I'm going to go in with my hands because I feel like I have added enough oat milk, but it's not really distributed well throughout the dough. So I'm just going to use my hands to do that. So as I'm mixing this Gulab Jamun dough together, you can see how it's come together really well. You don't want to overmix it because yes, there is maida in here. So if you overmix it, it's going to become really hard and not really very fun to eat. And it's not going to mimic the regular Gulab Jamun as well. And you want to give that a very tough fight. So now that our dough is ready, I'm just going to portion it into little balls. We don't want these to be too big because if they're too big, they won't cook all the way till the inside as we fry them. So we want a nice, even, small size. Now we're just going to roll them up into nice little balls. The trick to getting a nice round circle is to have your hand cupped like this and let your thumb guide where the ball goes. So if I show you nicely right here, my thumb is constantly right here and it's guiding where the ball is going exactly. And that's exactly what and it gives me a nice round shape. There we go. Our rounds are now ready and these Gulab Jamuns are ready to be fried. So now that our Gulab Jamuns are resting for a bit before they get fried, it's time to make the syrup. The syrup is also a very crucial component of any good Gulab Jamun, simply because making a syrup requires a bit of knowledge of how sugar actually works. Sugar is a crystalline structure, so all it wants to do is to stay in that crystalline structure. When we make a syrup, we break that crystalline structure and prevent the sugar from doing what it wants to do. What's going to help us in making this syrup stable is this lemon juice, because acid makes sure that that crystalline structure is broken and doesn't get back together. So let's begin. First, we're going to add sugar. This is about 1.5 cups of sugar. And I'm going to add another equal parts of water in here as well. So that will be 1.5 cups of water. And before I turn the heat on, I want to slightly dissolve this sugar in here. Also, you will notice that I'm using a wooden spoon. That's also because wooden spoons, since this is a non-stick pan, wooden spoon won't scratch it. But when you're making syrups, it's always preferred to use a wooden spoon. So now that this sugar is slightly dissolved, I am going to turn on the heat and going to very, very slowly over the heat dissolve this sugar. And as soon as the sugar dissolves, we're going to go in with a dash of the lemon juice, because all of that crystalline structure thing that we just spoke about, it starts happening once the sugar is dissolved into the water. You want to make sure that you're continuously stirring during this step, because what can happen is the sugar that doesn't dissolve in the water can go to the bottom of the pan, and that part of sugar can get burnt and it'll just ruin your syrup entirely. And I speak from experience because that's happened to me multiple times, so that's why I'm here to tell you not to do that. As you can see, the syrup's already thickening up slightly, it's getting warm as well. We want it to stay really nice and warm and not really reach a boiling point ever, because that vigorous boiling of it can also, help the structure get back together. Alright, the time has come for me to add a dash of this lemon juice. Also, how cool is this product? Like, it's the juice of 700 lemons in a bottle, and all you need to do is that. There's no more cutting, there's no more looking for the thing that you can never find to press the lemon juice out of the lemons. Is just open the bottle and add this lemon juice into here. Alright, now that this is in, we're going to add a little bit of cardamom seeds. I'm going to go not crazy, but about that much. I think that's like half a teaspoon right in, because we want these cardamom seeds to flavor the syrup nice and subtly. Speaking of nice and subtle, what can be better than this? Kashmiri saffron is just gorgeous, long threads. I'm just going to add a few strands because I know that I will not need too much. And that goes right back into my locker. Oh, I'm just in love with saffron, especially this Kashmiri saffron. Alright, just mix everything all together. Make sure the kesar infuses really well with the syrup. I used to work at a mithai shop, and the chef there, he told me that this motion of an 8 will make sure that nothing will ever burn in whatever pan that you're working in, whatever food that you're working with. If you do an 8 with this spoon right here, nothing will ever burn. And I've tried it out, and apparently he's right. Okay, now that this syrup has reached a nice boil and my saffron has nicely infused in the syrup as well. I know that it doesn't look very yellow because of the saffron, but that's what we want. Gulab Jamun syrup is never like kesar yellow. So this syrup is ready to go. And the next step now is to fry those jamuns and dunk them into the syrup and just enjoy. I just can't wait. Okay, so now our gulab jam dough has rested for a bit, and now it's time for us to fry it. I'm just going to try one and fry it one at a time because I don't want it to stick to the bottom, and I want it to color very, very evenly. So as you're frying these gulab jamuns, you have to move them constantly because you don't want one part to brown faster than the rest of it, because you want that even brownness all over the outside. These are perfect gulab jamuns. As you can see, I've gone for a nice brown, dark brown color. So now it's time for our delicious looking gulab jamuns to go into the sugar syrup to soak for about an hour or two. And they're just going to soak up all of that delicious sugar syrup, get soft on the inside but have that gorgeous caramelized crust on the outside. I just can't wait to have these gulab jamuns. So our gulab jam has been soaking in the sugar syrup for about an hour now, and now it's time to plate it. We're just going to garnish it off with some slices of our gorgeous Iranian pistachios. And some of that gorgeous Kashmiri saffron once again. Oh, be careful with these garnishes. And that's it. Our gulab jamun is now ready to go. I'm really excited to eat this, guys, and I'm even more excited for you guys to try out this recipe and let us know what do you think of it. It's so good.